Let's talk about Chainsaw Man.
Ooh.
There are very few series that I've read that have really laid an impression on me. Chainsaw Man is one of those few series, and I like to think of myself shamelessly as an elitist when it comes to manga. I know it's not good to say that, but I do think I am. But I have guilty pleasures. Like I absolutely love Demon Slayer, and I thought Demon Slayer was the best example of a modern shonen. Not the best modern shonen, just something that people could really appreciate. But then Chainsaw
If
Man completely changed my mind.
if it wasn't for Chainsaw Man, I think Demon Slayer is actually would be the best. Like I think Demon Slayer. I haven't like completely finished the manga. Actually, no, I have. Yeah, I read the last arc, like the arc after Mugen Train, and then I binged the ending in a week. And if it wasn't for how Demon Slayer ended, I would say Demon Slayer is better than My Hero Academia, Jujutsu Kaisen, Black Clover, and the rest in the magazine right now. Besides One Piece, of course. But then it ended the way it did, and it went downhill.
Which is unfortunate because I thought Demon Slayer was really, 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 really strong, and I was like crying tears towards the end, and then it just
Yeah,
went into a odd direction.
yeah. Before the Swordsman Village arc, I think it's called. The arc prior to that was like a 9 out of 10 for me. Like, it was really, really good. I think it's called the Entertainment District
Entertainment
arc.
District, yeah.
Yeah. And I loved it. And I was even considering making Demon Slayer a series that I was going to cover frequently on my channel for a time period. If you look when Mugen Train came out, I made a review, and then like 2 weeks later, I made an analysis on Rengoku's character. And then 2 weeks after that, I was going to make a video covering the core of season one. Um, and I'm still excited for season two. They're covering one of my favorite arcs in the series, if not my favorite. Um, but yeah, I think Chainsaw Man, though, as a series, will always stay in my top 10. Like, I don't see it getting kicked out. Like, I do see One Piece getting kicked out. It's moving closer and closer to the edge for me. But Chainsaw Man, though, it has left that impact. Dare I say this is going to be a hot take, but Aki is better than Sasuke. Denji is one of the best protagonists in all of fiction. I have him as top five. Makima is my second favorite antagonist in all of anime and manga. Actually, no, third favorite. Power. I say Power is a pretty good character. She has room to grow, and I think that's she will. Like you can tell that there's more left to her character that needs to be covered, and that's what part two will cover. I'm sure as they rescue her. I don't know. It's just it's fun to read. I love Denji's simpleness, and one thing that I love about Chainsaw Man is it takes the shonen tropes. You see, one thing I love about Bleach, I know I'm bringing it back to Bleach, is it doesn't have as many of the common shonen tropes when it comes to like a protagonist that eats a lot or stuff like that. Like I hate that because it makes no sense. But in Chainsaw Man, it still has those tropes, but it feels like there's an actual reason for them. Like One Piece, Luffy just loves food, and then there's other shonens like that where like there's no reason behind why the protagonist likes food so much. Like, why does Goku love food so much? Why does he eat so much? But with Denji, it's because he's never had the chance to eat the food that he's loved, so he wants to live life how he can. Like, I think Chainsaw Man is just it's way deeper than meets the eye when you first read it, and like the way that the story connects is just so impactful, and how spoilers for Chainsaw Man. Skip 1 or 2 minutes if you guys don't want to be spoiled. How Fujimoto just takes out a main character like that, like, is incredible. Like, I've never seen an author be so free willed to just get rid of a main character that they've become attached to. And at the same time, his author notes are all about food.
The thing about Chainsaw Man is that it's doing something that we've seen done across many other series, but it's condensed into one shonen series. And that's what makes it very unique because there is an energy when you're writing a shonen series. You can write at a fast pace at the consequence of a character's personality being developed. Except in Chainsaw Man, the personalities do get developed.
Mm-hmm.
You've had videos where you talk about not just with Chainsaw Man, with other series where you break down the characters like biography, how they're coming up through the manga or the anime, and you put a lot of attention to detail with that. But if you look at Power, if you look at Makima, if you look at Denji, all of these characters, as you've mentioned, they have so many different aspects to them. They're very three dimensional, and you're excited to see where things go with them next, even if you know it means that this character is going to have to encounter a lot of tragedy, a lot of hurt to get to where their final destination is. You're excited as a reader to see it, and I haven't felt so connected to characters in a manga in a very long time. Chainsaw Man completely changed how I look at modern series. I think it is one of the greatest shonen released over the last 20 years, I'd say 20 years. And I'm very excited to see how the world loves it when it's finally animated.
Yeah. I actually think it's a top 5 shonen of all time. Top 10 shonen of all time, from what I've read and watched, which is... I don't know how many shonen says because I'm not really a shonen fan.
Neither am I. But like, of the shonen I've read, I would put it up there. The thing about it is that like when I read Chainsaw Man, I do see some of the influences, and I feel like the same thing with Jujutsu Kaisen. The authors were reading the same manga that I was reading growing up, and the authors are probably around the same age as me, so we all probably like the same things. It makes sense, but it's the way they articulate what they're trying to say through these characters. Even though some of these callbacks are familiar, they're still very unique in how they're portrayed. Chainsaw Man will change a lot of people's opinions about what anime can be.
Well, let's face it, Chainsaw Man, it shouldn't be a shonen, it should be a seinen. But yeah, I'm more of a I can't even say that. Like, I like everything, but shonen in my top 10, at least action shonen, I think there's only three series in my top 10 favorite series of all time. That'd be Bleach, Chainsaw Man, and One Piece.
I think with Chainsaw Man, it's going to have an impact the same way Death Note did. Death Note was like that big series that came right before Sword Art that made people look at manga as something very unique, and it will definitely infiltrate everybody's top 10 as well. I definitely agree with that for sure.
I think the one thing that Chainsaw Man will and might have issues with is it can get gross at times. And I think that there's some scenes that are going to cause people to immediately drop it as a series. More particularly the throw-up kiss scene with Himeno and Denji. And I think that's going to get some people to drop the series. For sure.
Yeah, and there'll be an equal amount that comes just for that scene. So...
Well, what's your favorite scene in Chainsaw Man? Oh, the time Himeno threw up in Denji's mouth.
Oh, when I saw that panel, I was shocked myself. I was like, okay, this is weird. But it also drew me in because of the fact that no shonens really do gross out humor like that anymore.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't funny. I'll say that much. I mean, like the way that he was describing the kiss is very, very weird. I was like, something's up, but I was not expecting to turn the panel and see it that disgusting scene.
But see, that's an interesting way of writing that story as well. Yeah. Denji gets a kiss and he's going through all these emotions, and then his drunk coworker just vomits in him. It's a crazy thing to experience, but it's also something that any person could imagine not wanting to be in that situation. But you still want to see it happen to somebody else.
Yeah, for sure.